a little man promised that he would teach her everything he knew, but only if she first helped him with a little problem he was facing, namely repairing his broken down bicycle. Even though the request seemed simple enough, the Kung Fu master managed to turn it into a task of Herculean proportions by asking Samantha to travel through the perilous war-torn provinces in France in search of a near-mythical bicycle repairman who apparently lived in a remote fishing village cut off from the rest of society. But when, after what seemed like ages of traveling, Samantha finally found the bicycle repairman, the old master added one final request. For he claimed that his bicycle was so special that it could only be repaired by the delicate hands of a woman. In other words, Samantha had to learn how to do it herself. Even though by this point she was ready to beat the bicycle into tiny bits out of frustration, Samantha persevered and convinced the bicycle repairman to teach her how to repair the contraption herself. Once the bicycle was repaired, the Kung Fu master revealed that everything he had asked of her had actually been a part of her training. Through the grueling and often infuriating trip through the war-torn France had not only strengthened her body, but also her mind. And as promised, he kept his end of the deal and began instructing her in the art of Kung Fu, so that she may learn how to defeat Evil Do's bear-sized bodyguard. Gonna cut this a little bit short. Let's just say she eventually found Evil Do, who had been by this time had been turned into a noble by the very thankful Kaiser Wilhelm, because he had helped them with providing them with fuel and stuff. So he had become a baron, and he had his very own castle near the border of Belgium and Germany. And of course, Samantha had to fight her way through a small army guarding the castle. But let's just say she got in over her head. But just at the last moment, when she was going to be shot by a soldier, her old master jumped in on his bicycle to her rescue. And after which he revealed that he wasn't an old man at all. He threw off his fake beard and wig, revealing himself as Zhang Chun, the famous master of Kung Fu, and also a centurion. And he wasn't old at all. Chun explained to her that she was in fact also a centurion, and that in case he didn't make it out of the castle alive, she had to go find the Century Club in London and go join up with her fellow centurions. In the end, Samantha managed to make it to Evil Do's quarters, thanks to Zhang's help, but again was confronted by Humongo. Luckily, this time she was prepared. Using everything her master had taught her, she was able to turn the giant's formidable strength against him, and Humongo clearly was not taking this little girl very seriously, was taken completely off guard, and in the end was flung out of a window. And as Samantha turned her attention to the object of her hatred, something unexpected happened. Evil Do threw himself before her and began groveling for mercy. Even though Samantha would have loved nothing more than to kill him right there and then for everything he had done to her family, she just couldn't do it. She was too overcome with a feeling of disgust as she saw the man she had always seen as some sort of evil, scrupulous mastermind, now reduced to groveling and pleading for mercy. Deciding she would let him live out his life in shame, she instead forced Evil Do to sign her father's company back over to her, and then allowed him to escape. And after the battle was finally over, and the German soldiers had retreated when they found out that their commander had run off like a coward, Samantha began looking for her master, but he was nowhere to be found. Believing he had died in the battle, Samantha honored her mentor's final request and departed for London to join the Century Club. And that's the end of that phase. That took a long time. I need a drink.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And from that, I would give her the aspects that she was instructed in the ancient arts of Kung Fu and bicycle repair. And I don't know when the bicycle repair aspect will ever be handy, but I thought that would be funny anyway.
Whenever bicycles are broken or menaced by international communism, bicycle repair woman is ready.
Actually, Spuffner, you want to hear a funny story?
Whatever. Go
Bicycle
ahead.
repairman.
The whole bicycle repairman sketch from Monty Python is actually what inspired me to put the bicycle repair part in the story.
Well, I can.
Let's just say it gave me a little bit of inspiration. And anyway, second aspect is because she got the company back from Evildo, is that, the aspect is called head of a successful company. I think that will be appropriate because that means she has a lot of money, but it also means she has a lot of responsibilities, right? Right.
Sure.
That's it. Anybody think I should change something about the
And of course-
aspects? Douwe?
No. I
Okay,
don't have
cool.
an asset, no. I'm
Cool.
trying to find out how to get back into the... Oh, not a problem. Never mind.
Okay then. Who wants to go next?
Spoofnum.
Well, sure. When the Great War began, Ferdinand's family had to evacuate because they lived near the front lines. His frequent reading made his eyesight worse. In the place they fled to, he found Nietzsche and became his student until his adulthood. Nietzsche also got him into contact with the Century Club and told about his theories concerning the centurions. His father was finally called into a battle for the spring offensive and died during it. Ferdinand began to drink a lot because of that. Maybe some of these things can be sort of.
Okay.
Well, it seems to me like there's material here for 3 aspects. So
Yeah,
maybe
we have to
can be
we have to
spread
see
out.
how we're gonna do that then. And I didn't catch all of that again. So Ferdinand's family had to flee from the war. His eyesight got worse because of a lot of reading, because he read.
And I
a
can
lot.
even paste it to your document.
Yeah, you can add it yourself if you want. And he met his mentor Nietzsche. Everybody know who Nietzsche is?
The philosopher, right?
Yes, we actually for Spuffnum's character we turned Nietzsche into a centurion. Yes, he faked his death, pretending he was mad, but yeah, actually he just went undercover because certain people were trying to kill him. But yeah, actually he's actually in reality a two-fisted philosopher. And I found this great picture of him that I'm going to link in the chat.
Yeah, the Übermensch, right?
Yes, the Übermensch!
I love it. I just love that. I'm almost tempted to, play Aristotle, except that he's, kinda...
Oh, you're talking about another picture. Yeah, that was a great one too. But this one's in the similar vein though. But yeah, just click on the link and yeah.
I see it. Yeah.
So,
Nice.
so Ferdinand Faustin's mentor was the Übermensch, and he had a very impressive mustache.
Well, he is Nietzsche.
Yes.
So
Let's see what
as
you
for
put in here.
Aspects.
Okay.
Actually, weren't the aspects supposed to be good for me? So maybe the eyesight thing wouldn't be
Both good and bad.
both good.
A
And
part of an
bad.
aspect
Oh,
could be like eyesight is bespectacled something.
Bespectacled menace. Sorry, wait. Bespectacled scholar.
Well, he is also a fighter thing. He fights with his fists.
Okay.
Bespectacled fighter.
Yes.
Ooh.
No.
Oh, how about this one? You wouldn't hit a chap with glasses now, would you?
I like that,
Nice.
but I'm not certain it fits his personality. Because it has to be
Then you take
something
his
he would
glasses and
say.
hit him with it.
Goggles and fisticuffs. That should be the aspect. Goggles and fisticuffs.
a spectacular fighter.
That's great. I like it.
Yeah, spectacular fighter.
That works.
And it relates also to his spectacles.
Well,
Okay.
for the second aspect, how about I drink, therefore I am?
I like it.
Whoa. So you're going to go for a drunken master.
And a philosopher.
I like it.
This is going to be interesting, I'll give it that.
No, Richard,
yes.
it's going to be hilarious.
Also, the theories concerning the centurions could that maybe be made
Yes.
into an aspect.
Nietzsche is a troublemaker. Not even a lot of people, even in the Century Club, didn't like him because you know his theories. You know Nietzsche's theories about the Ubermensch.
Yes. Basically, whatever doesn't kill me makes me strong.
No, we actually thought of a way how Nietzsche's theories could actually make sense within the whole story of Spirit of the Century because of his theories on the perfect man and what have you. He was actually spreading secrets about the nature of centurions around. So yeah, he wasn't very popular.
Gee, I wonder why.
It's one of the reasons he had to fake his death and stuff. And pretend he was crazy. So yeah. We thought about it. Okay,
Nice.
cool, I like it. Spectacular fighter, and I drink, therefore I am. Cool. I like it. So, who's next?
That would be me.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
So, yes, let's say, through the previous Centurion,
Yes?
he gets to choose his patron god. Although he can also contact other gods, but anyway, and he was instructed in the ways of the mystics' arts of the ancient Mayan culture,
Instructed in the
which is actually shamanism.
of the Mayans. Yes?
And he was also instructed how to fight with the sacred spear of El Dorado, let's say,
Okay.
and how to use the jungle's animals as his allies to let's say tap into their source of power and use it in his own advantage.
Wow, that's way too many aspects.
I know, could be.
Okay. And how to fight with it, and how to use the power of the animals or something. The animals of the jungle. Okay, what I wrote down is that through the previous centurion he chooses his patron god, and he was instructed in the mystic arts of the Mayans, and he learned how to fight with the sacred spear, and how to use the power of the animals of the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, just when we were talking about your character, weren't we say that your spear had some sort of wind powers, and that's how it always came back to you? That was always blown back when you threw it.
Yes, it's a magical boomerang spear.
Shouldn't it be then a sacred spear, some sort of a wind god, like? Yeah, well, not Quetzalcoatl. I don't know what the Mayan version of Quetzalcoatl is.
Oh, I do, but let me see.
Oh, by the way,
that would be Guchu Mat or something.
Okay. Wow,
A
that's
feathered
difficult.
snake.
Yeah. We could call it the sacred spear the feathered snake, or just a feathered spear. I don't know. What do you want? What do you want us to call it?
Gucci.
Gucci.
You have a spear.
Let me see. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes. Or we'll come up with a name later. I don't know.
How about describing the spear's other aspects? As it's the holy spear of the god of the sun.
Because Dries,
Something like
actually-
that can also work.
because he actually wants an artifact spear. He actually and if you want the artifact, if you want like a mystical weapon, you have to like take the stunt to have one. But you also need to have an aspect related to that weapon. So I think one of his aspects might as well be related to the spear. But the first one, what is other? Oh, you mentioned several things that actually could be an aspect.
Let's say he's the avatar from the Mayan culture.
Yes.
You're blue, da da dee 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 dee.
He's in contact with the spirit world. He knows how to use the mystic arts.
Warrior chosen by the Mayan gods. What do you think? I put 3 things in there. Mayan, warrior, and gods.
He's good.
And how can that be used against him? Because so far it's all
He
positive.
was chosen by the Mayan gods. They can make him do things. Because, yeah, they're the gods.
It's my holiday. Worship me. Damn it! I need to sacrifice something.
Oh, they could go like, hey, that evil god is sending down his minions. Go stop him.
And that evil god could not actually. And that evil god could be a god that would be considered good in the other country because Mayans are weird. Mayans are weird.
Mayans.
Mayan, Aztecs.
Don't you think that would be
Okay.
a good aspect? Warrior chosen by the Mayan gods or something?
To whom is it? Okay, sure.
Bolon Zakap.
I am thinking though, he still needs the power of the animals aspect. Dries,
Bestial nature.
I got an idea.
I would say then from my god aspects again, because he chose Yum Ka'ax and he's the lord of animals. Lord of the forest, god of wild plants, animals and the hunt.
Wild animals.
Okay.
So,
From
what-
wild plants, animals and the hunt. Yeah.
yeah, but plants aren't that wild. They just grow. Quietly. Politely.
Oh, you would be surprised if you go to the deepest part of the jungle what plant can do.
Yeah, but
They
Dries,
stand there.
Dries wants to have an aspect that he can like channel the aspects of the animals. I thought that would be best as an aspect, so just like a +2 on certain rolls and stuff like that, like speed of the cheetah and stuff like that.
Heart of a lion. Ooh,
Yeah.
You know what?
No, not
I
lion.
have an idea.
It's supposed to be from the jungle he lives. There are no lions in the jungle.
I
Yeah,
know.
but-
Hey,
I
I've
guess
got an idea for the aspect. You ready for
Okay.
this? You ready
Yeah.
for this?
Yeah.
we're always ready for you.
The Panther Panzer.
No,
Panthers.
Dries, hear me out here. I know
Yes?
it'll slightly alter your story, but how about he needs to earn his spear first, and the spear he will get in his novel, his first adventure.
Actually, he learns how to fight with a spear, but he doesn't get it yet. He only gets it when the old master kicks the bucket.
Ah, okay, so the
I like
spear can still come up in the next phase. Okay.
Yes.
So we can still have aspect like warrior chosen by the Mayan gods, and second aspect power of the animals or something. What do you think, Dao? Too positive?
Ooh. Channel your inner beast. That's the aspect.
Ooh,
that's
inner
good.
beast.
Yeah, good one.
I still like Panther, but
Sure.
channel your inner beast is good.
Actually, it's a good idea for another pulp hero.
Actually, in the inner beast, can make him more savage. That he relies more on his instincts and.
And now Dao is happy
will
because it
work
also
out
has a
more
negative
logical.
side.
Yes, I am happy.
Okay, so those
Yes,
two aspects
you
then are
won't
chosen
suffer.
by the Mayan gods and channel your inner beast. I'll put an exclamation mark behind it.
But only one, because he's still sane. Also, feed me your tears, feed me your suffering.
What? You're playing a mad scientist, Dao, not some sort of cult leader.
Yes.
Jeez.
Anyway, now that was in response to what Drew said.
Yeah.
I think you get it.
Okay, who's next? Richard or Dao?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Good. Then I have some time.
Oh yeah, you already had some ideas for the next phase. Go ahead.
Ooh, I know.
All right. So this is during. This is before the
War.
first adventure, but after the beginning part. So
It's during
It's during the
Great
war. 1914, 1918.
okay. So Jonah, his foster father, had helped in the war on the sidelines. Not many knew about it because his studies were supposed to be in secret, and he was studying. He was studying ways to, basically fight the occult that was being used in the war. Because of his studies into runes, into their power, or hexes, I should say, and their power, he was able to fight the occult wherever it popped up. And with wielding his famed 6-shooter, he was able to, stop everything from going completely insane and, killing off hundreds of people in the war. And as he did this, every time he came back, he didn't become darker, but he became
And
more
darkened.
and darkened, yeah. And his and William noticed this, and he started trying to figure out what's going on with his foster father. So he started reading the books. He started trying to figure out what the hexes were doing to his father. And one night his father caught him, and they had a fight about it. And it blew up into like 3 months of not talking to each other when Jonah went off to stop the occult from happening in another part of the world. He came back, and William had taken one of his old gloves and drawn a hex on it, and he couldn't get it off his hand. And so now he and Jonah had to work together to try and figure out what he had done, and Jonah realized that his foster son had the knack for hexes that he did, and started working with him and teaching him how to use the hexes, what they meant, and how to incorporate them into everyday objects.
Okay.
And that's where he began his training.
Okay. That's it?
So your Great War is actually fighting the occult cults from, driving everyone bonkers.
Wait,
Exactly.
it's mainly his father who fought the occult, right?
It is, but William helped his father with his studies.
Okay.
Because every mission his father was sent on, he had to do preparation beforehand and figure out what was going on. William began to delve into the occult as well, using the hexes as his source of information,
But Richard,
and begin to...
Okay.
Richard, there's something
Yeah.
What?
we need to add, or maybe you don't know. But the father, since he was a previous centurion, has to either die or disappear, because there are no more centurions from the last century around.
Okay. You know what?
Maybe just went
During
on a
his
mission and never
last-
returned.
Well, what happened? There's one mission, and it's not that he never returned.
Ooh. How about you made him disappear by accident?
No, actually, I was thinking Jonah would have sacrificed himself by jumping into the abyss
Okay.
to stop.
Instead, something bad happened. Okay.
Yeah, basically what happened is on one of his missions, and he had actually taken his foster son with him. It was his last mission, but he didn't know it. And there was a creature from the abyss trying to pop through a portal that the enemy had created.
Hi, Hildis.
And it was... yes, it was a magical chain lasso. But basically it popped out of this portal to try and, come into our world. And as the portal closed, the chain wrapped around William's leg. Well, Jonah couldn't allow William to be taken, so he grabbed the chain, chopped it off, and it wrapped around his hand, or shot it off with his gun, and it wrapped around his hand.
Anyway,
and
yes, we
pulled
get the
him into
picture.
the abyss.
We get the picture.
So him and
Yes,
his
what?
gun were never seen again.
I'm actually, from the whole story of his father and stuff, I'm actually, and involvement in the war, I'm actually kind of getting a Hellboy vibe out of the story.
Well, see, the thing is, his father was kind of was used a 6-shooter like Hellboy, but he was.
No, I mean like the
he
background
was-
story of Hellboy, not necessarily the character Hellboy, I just mean the kind of story.
Oh yeah, good point. Yes, the first scene in the Hellboy movie.
Yeah.
True, but that's when Hellboy popped out. He didn't nobody got dragged in.
Hmm.
But okay, let's carry on.
Okay.
Yeah,
So yes,
yes, it did.
So Jonah,
Rasputin got dragged in.
Jonah
Did he?
and his gun were never seen again.
we're never.
Okay. You're gonna have to help me out with the
Richard.
recap though, because I didn't get everything. What I wrote down was his foster father helped in the
Let's
war
see,
on the sidelines, and he was secretly studying and fighting the occult powers used by you never said this literally, but I
Against the
assume the
occult.
central powers.
Yeah.
Guys. And meanwhile, William studied the hex rune in his father's library in secret. His father first objected when he found
we're
out,
not.
but when he discovered he had a talent for magic, I guess. Magic, he started instructing him, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as he started instructing on him, part of the instruction was to take on a more hands-on role.
Active.
And he began to take him with him on missions.
Okay, right.
Play small parts in the missions at first, but on the last one he tried to play.
Ooh.
He had him play a big part.
Oh wait, reluctantly taught the art of the occult.
Yeah.
Reluctantly taught the occult.
Hmm. And lastly, unfortunately, his father died when he tried to stop a dark ritual or something. Yeah, it only has to be like in
Father.
short, so.
And what I was thinking
So
for that
how
aspect,
does the? Yeah.
I was thinking for one of his aspects, searching for his father.
Huh.
Every
Fro-
time, like, some kind of portal or an occult ritual happens, he thinks that there might be a connection to his father, so he
That's
constantly goes after him.
that's especially gonna be a
Obsessively
negative
searching for
aspect because
father.
he's probably never gonna find him.